Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I would like to present about my final project, which is HAS manual. So first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nik Amana Kudin bin Zubir and my number ID is BMH220003. So let's get started. So as you all can see in this table, first the step in identifying halal control point HCP. Second, the HCP risk management plan summary of my company, and the last one is the outcome that I have learned after completing the HAS manual. So, what is halal control point? So, a halal control point typically refers to a specific stage or location in the production, processing or distribution of food and product that are intended to be compliant with Islamic dietary law halal, and it one to ensuring the concept of halal thayyiban is applied to the product as well as maintaining the safety and quality of the halal product produced. So the process is you must know the type of halal trade, list associate possible risk hazard, rationalize the impact of identified risk hazard, and what is the frequency and severity impact of risk hazard if occur, like a table likelihood, severity impact, halal risk matrix. And next, develop control measure for every identified risk or halal hazard, and halal risk matrix with reading is halal control point HCP. And next, develop and implement monitoring program for each halal control point, and also develop and implement corrective action if loss of control or deviation occur at HCP. And the last one, develop and implement process verification. We have 4 types of halal trade. First, material. Second, people. Third, machine and equipment. And last one is environment. So next, source to identify the halal trade. First, employees' knowledge and experience. Second, external information like journal, fatwa, other reliable media and government guideline. And third, information collected for material, list of raw material and processes like product description, process flow and layout. And last one is report on production issues like rework, return, complaint and recall. So we have 3 categories of risk likelihood. First, likely, the possibility of halal thayyiban status expected to occur in most circumstances. And second, moderate, the possibility of halal thayyiban status affected might occur sometimes. And unlikely, the possibility of halal thayyiban status affected occur in exceptional circumstances. And next, 3 categories of severity impact. So first is critical, the result of activity or halal substance not intended as part of the product that affected the thayyiban status and intended use of the product. Second, the moderate, the result of activity or halal substance not intended as part of the product that affected the thayyiban status of the product but did not affect the intended use of the product. And last one is insignificant, no impact on the halalan status of the product. So this is a table, as you all can see. This is to make a decision using HCP decision rule. I will show you the HCP risk management plan summary of my company, which is Uninoto Sindian Berhad. So this is HCP1. In this process receiving of raw material and packaging material, we detect that the raw material contain or combine the raw and packaging material with haram things or any cross-contamination occur while receiving. So our halal executive QC supervisor have doing a corrective action for this HCP. So the contaminated raw material will be rejected and new raw material will be requested to supplier as a replacement if there has any cross-contamination with the raw material. So the halal executive will doing visual inspection and also doing a record of raw material. So this is also HCP1. For this process, we detect that delivered item that is not rejected in approved material, supplier list or MAI halal and do not have halal certificate. So our halal executive QC supervisor have doing a corrective action for this HCP also, which is the supplier need to register their product in approved supplier list or MAI halal and follow all requirement of halal by JAKIM to get halal certificate. So the halal executive have doing form, checklist and record to get the verification. So for HCP2, in the process of storing raw material and packaging material, we have 2 critical limits which is come from people and environment. From people, we detect that the worker wear a PPE that are from illegal animal. This critical limit has been taking action by halal executive, QC and supervisor. They make sure the purchaser need to ensure that the PPE that bought are not from haram sources. This can be verified by follow the product description. So environment, there are pests that can contaminate and harm raw material. Because of this, we have separate and dispose the raw material that affected by pests. And also we inform the production and storage department of the issues to control the pest issues. In HCP3, it also have two critical limits in the process of weighing and measuring raw material. As you all can see in this table, the staff do not remove the belongings, so the purchaser need to ensure that the PPE that bought are not from haram sources, and this has been doing visual inspection by halal executive. And the second critical limit is material, which is they are using raw material that are from haram sources. So halal executive, QC or QA must make sure the purchaser need to find supplier that can supply halal water filter and purchase it for product produce. And this have verification by halal executive by doing lab tests and record. In HCP4, the process in storage and finished good also have critical limit, which is there are pests that can contaminate and harm product produce. This critical limit has doing a corrective action by storekeeper, QC and warehouse worker. They separate and dispose the raw material that affected by pests, and also they inform the production and storage department of the issues to control the pest issues. And for HCP5, in process transportation and distribution, it is also have critical limit because they mixture of halal and non-halal product in one vehicle when distribute a product. So halal executive, QC, QA or supervisor has doing separate immediately non-halal product and halal product, and also they inform halal executive and HIC member. So we have come to the end of this final project. So what I have learned after completing the HAS manual is I learned to maintain, record and documentation related to health and safety as required by regulation. Second, I also know how important of developing and implementing HAS, because this is to make sure the industry that have halal certificate follow all the requirement and to prevent from anything that can harm our product. And I also learned how to identify, assess and mitigate workplace hazard and risk to ensure a safer working environment. So it will be easier to make sure that product in the industry are in good condition, and I can understanding of relevant health and safety regulations, law, standard applicable to industry. So this is my final project presentation. So thank you.